Hi, this is Alan Lord, and I'm here to do another one of our drink, except this time it's DeSanti Sparkling Water, drink with Alan. And with me is Neil Bingham. Neil Bingham lives in Alcoa, Tennessee. Is that the right term? We're down here at Pigeon Forge. My family is down looking at the Great Smoky Mountains, and Neil was nearby, and he was kind enough to come over and spend a few hours with me, and we've had a great afternoon. But what I want to do is really have Neil talk to us about a little bit about his life, and he and I have shared a few things, and so I'm just going to turn it over to you.
Okay, well, graduated sort of from Deer Park, and we all know that story, right? Anyway, came down to Tennessee to go to Maryville College. From college, I became a land surveyor, met a local girl, Judy. Been married to the same woman since 1975. Have one daughter, two granddaughters. They're 3 years old. And twins, that is, granddaughters. On my thing, I did not stay in surveying. After surveying, I became a certified master watchmaker and clockmaker. And from certified master watchmaker and clockmaker, I moved into scientific equipment, and now all I work on is microscopes. I do places like University of Tennessee, East Tennessee State University. I do most of the hospitals from Bristol, Tennessee to Chattanooga, Tennessee. I work with Oak Ridge National Laboratories and a few other places that make things go boom. Anyway.
Well, I think I want to talk to you just a little bit more, not let you skip completely over the watchmaking, because I personally think that's really interesting. So tell them how you kind of switched over and what you had to do to become a certified watchmaker.
Well, I had to go to watchmaking school, which happened to happen in Quincy, Illinois, at a place called Gem City College. It was a 2-year course. You start in what they call the tool room, and in the tool room you make the screwdrivers and tweezers and all these special tools that you need to do watchmaking before you even get to work on a watch. And so you just progress from doing the tools to then you start doing lathe work, then you start repairing watches, and all this time you're also taking classes in horological theory. You should have seen my mother's face when I told her I was going to be a horologist. But anyway, which is the study of time for those of you who are going, anyway. At the end, to finish the course, you had to make actually a functioning piece of timekeeping capability. So,
was this a university program or separate? I mean, like, did you go all the time in that? It wasn't like taking university classes.
Yeah, it was okay. It was one of those. I was on a self-imposed work-study program.
Sure.
I went to class from 8 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Then I went straight from class to work at a place called Quincy Compressor, which was a division of Colt Industries, and I worked in a factory until midnight, and then the next day I would start the whole thing over again. So we did that. I did that for 2 years, and then I took the class, the course, the certificate course for American Watchmakers Institute, and passed. And so that's how I became a certified master watchmaker and clockmaker.
And for those of you that are interested, he told me recently that he's got, 300 different watches in a drawer that don't work, that eventually he'll get around to repairing and selling for much more than they're currently worth.
People are always willing to sell their broken stuff, and if you know how to fix it, you can turn a profit. So don't throw away those old wind-up watches and clocks. Send them to Neil.
That's good. And so you then obviously went into the watch or timekeeping business for a while, but then you moved from that into the microscopes, which I also think is very interesting.
Yeah, I started doing, a good friend of mine was working for the University of Tennessee in the biology service facility, and he needed some chart recorders fixed, and I, of course, could fix them. So one thing morphed into another, and he asked me if I knew anything about microscopes. And because I had been a land surveyor, of course, I knew something about optics. And so I just did some maintenance on a scope for him. It worked out. I got the bug to work on them, and so I took I'm stuttering.
That's okay.
I went to every microscope manufacturer in the U.S. at the time and took training courses from all of them. And then I came back, and the University of Tennessee hired me to work on their microscopes. And
that was the beginning of
owning
your own business now
since I started my own business in 1989, and I've been doing it ever since, doing everything from student level scopes to full-blown research scopes. So that's what I do.
And you apparently think it's obvious, but it's not to me because I don't know nothing about this, the connection between land surveying and microscopes.
Oh, well.
You know, you talk about the light, and I think about land surveying as the guy out there with a little tripod, you know.
Well, but the thing he's looking through is a piece of optics. Okay, it's a transit or a theodolite. And
another word I can't say.
If you're in the field and something
breaks,
you fix it in the field rather than taking everything back to the shop. So
So you had to know how to fix all this stuff, and they were they're kind of like binoculars.
Like binoculars or a small telescope or spotting microscope, for folks who know what a spotting microscope is. But it's all about optical physics, and once you figure out the physics of it, you can align everything and make it work. And but of course, once you get into the upper end of it, not only do you have to know about the optics, but you have to know how they react with the certain wavelengths of light. A lot of stuff is done with monochrome light now, just as a fixed standard nanometer, like 570 nanometer monochrome light. Never mind.
Well, that's okay. I know he works really hard because this is right now it's July 6th, and we're here, and it's Friday afternoon, and he was able to find time in his schedule because he was busy working on the 4th of July. He said it's his favorite day to work because nobody else is working. He can get to all the machines.
No, Christmas is my favorite day to work.
Christmas, that's right.
Yeah, because Christmas is the gold day, because it's a very high-priced day to have Neil come, even though Neil, that's a perfect day for me to work because nobody's there. Nobody is around the equipment. So...
And of course, he started with the University of Tennessee and worked for some other companies, but then you've had your own company for how long?
Since 89, so
89.
That's been almost 30 years.
And as we all know, those of us that are in business in one way or another, there's been a lot of economic ups and downs over that period of time, and that's happened to everybody's small businesses as well as big companies. We've had people who've gotten laid off and people who've had to change their jobs. Neil works pretty hard now. You say you're semi-retired, but every time I talk to you, it sounds like you're still working. His version of semi-retired, I'll see if I can do this, is 60-hour weeks, 3 weeks a month, and fewer hour weeks on the 4th week.
Right. So that's semi-retirement. I figured full retirement will be 3 40s and then a week off. So that will be full retirement.
Well, He told me he took his first 2-week vacation just a few years ago, recently, but I'm still working on it to get him to come up and join the Dirty 30. Those of you guys in the Dirty 30. We were talking about the Dirty 30.
Getting all the dirt out, boys. Getting all the dirt out there.
So that was an interesting conversation too. Your primary time, when you do have spare time, I suppose, is spent with your daughter and the grandkids when you have an opportunity.
Yes. And patience holds out. Yes.
Yes.
The granddaughters are 3, and it's identical twin granddaughters, and I'm a little old for that, but that's fine. That's fine. We have a great time, and
Let's see. Does your daughter live right around here? Or?
Actually, my daughter lives in Chattanooga, and she opened Appalachian Microscope Service, which is my business. She opened Appalachian Microscope Service Chattanooga last January.
And of course, we don't have child labor laws for your own children.
Hey.
So when did she start being in the microscope business?
Well, she was 9.
She was 9.
She was 9 when she worked our first job.
Okay.
So it looks like we need to wrap it up here.
No.
11.
Okay. So our time is normally 5 to 10 minutes.
And we've already
we
gone
could do
on
this a
before.
lot longer. Neil and I have been talking since 1 o'clock. It's now about 4:15. So we just wanted you to have a chance to talk to Neil, or at least listen to Neil in this case, in another one of our video series. Neil is still working on whether he can get his schedule cleared out for coming to the reunion. I'm hoping he does, but we all know that it's a difficult challenge for everybody.
And my email address is on the site, so if anybody wants to go, howdy.
All right,
Do
so that means I'm going to get to publish it in our booklet. Those of you that I finally got his phone number. It took me 9 months to get that.
Hey, I'm a very private guy.
But that's okay. But I think he now trusts us that we're not going to try to sell him anything. So we thank you for watching our video, and
hopefully we'll see you in August.
That'll be it. Thanks.